Hey, what's up guys? I'm going to show you how I do a heel toe downshift. So I don't actually use my heel whenever I'm downshift, and I just use the the right side of my foot right here. So I use the toe for the brake and then right side of my foot to give it a blip of throttle to get a rev match going on. Alright, this section of road's a little bumpy, so bear with me. I'll do a quick downshift here, so that's how I do it. So it gets you pretty close to a perfect blip just about every time. It's just enough to get those RPMs back up for the next shift there. So this, it did take me a while to be able to do this. I've had 3 manual cars in the past 10 years of driving manual, so it did take a while to learn. I originally never did, rev match on the downshifts or anything, just because, it does take a little bit of a skill, and you do need to be able to understand your car, the sound of the RPM, how high you need to get those revs. And get a feel for the pedals too. These WRX pedals are absolutely perfect for this kind of shifting. Just they're perfectly spaced out. Really, just you're gonna have to practice it, really. Don't start with heel toe shifting, downshifting. Definitely just start with rev matching to begin with, like something like that, just to get used to matching the RPM to the gear itself. Because if you start with heel toe downshifting, you're not going to really be able to get the blip right and the feel of the clutch and all of it put together. So just start with the rev matching to begin with. Because I used to just rev match on the downshifts. I never used to heel toe. There's really no need for it on a daily drive, but I've just gotten so used to it now that it's just become so natural for me to do it, and it's almost hard for me to not do it now. So just start with something like that. And then you can start getting into the whole having to brake while doing that rev match too. found a spot to turn around right there. You know, it just takes practice, really. I mean, first you got to just learn how to rev match, and then you can start adding some braking to it, and then you'll pretty soon, you know, after just some practice and getting used, you know, just that movement real quick while you are holding down the brake is all it takes. So I guess really, besides just showing the heel toe downshifts and the rev matching shifts and stuff, this is kind of just obviously a cruising video, so don't really have anything else to talk about besides this, how good I think that these WRX pedals are to be able to do this type of heel toe shifting and downshifting and stuff, just because the placement of the pedals is just perfect for it. The pedal has good, I mean, all three pedals have really good grips to them. They have like little rubber circular pads that you can see there, so you get some good grip. You don't really slide off the pedal or anything. They're perfect size. The throttle response for this car is pretty good, so it doesn't take too much to get the throttle blip going. As you can see, I can even over rev it sometimes, especially whenever I'm at a higher RPM. So first, just start with the rev match to begin with. But if you already have that down, then really just toe down on the brake. Not enough to obviously turn ABS on or anything, but you know, have a nice solid feel with your kind of your big toe side of your foot on the brake pedal, and give it a consistent push. Keep it held down, and then move your right side of the foot, trying to keep that same pressure on the brake pad, and then move that right side of your foot just on the throttle. Give it the nice 1500 RPM blip a bit, so it should work out most of the time. I mean, sometimes it doesn't. I don't get a perfect shift every time. No one does, I'm sure. This road's gonna be too bumpy to do that. Let's see if we can't hit this dirt road up here and have a little bit of spinny fun on it, depending on the traffic, obviously. This road surprisingly has a lot of traffic on it for being a dirt road. Now there's a car up there already. guys, that was my quick little tutorial on how I do a heel toe downshift in this Subaru WRX. Just keep your toe side on the brake consistent and blip the throttle with the right side of your foot, and you are good to go.